It's officially springtime, and it is time for me to cut this hair. It is so long, I can't do much on the sides, and the back is just hard for me to set in my rollers. So it's time for a cut. I start off by thoroughly spraying my hair so that it's easier to cut. Using my comb, I section off the right side from the left so that I can do the special rubber band trick. And of course, I need my cape. I also use a trash can because I don't feel like sweeping that much hair off. Now I gather the left and the right sections, bring them all the way to the front, directly under my chin, and this is where I will place my rubber band or hair elastic, and I'm going to get ready to cut it. After I secured my rubber band, I slid it down just a little bit so that I would be taking off about 2, maybe 3 inches. I just wanted that hair to go. This is pretty much going to be my guide for the rest of the haircut. Now that my guide is cut, I remove my rubber band and check for evenness on both sides. Here I'm checking to make sure it is at the length where I wanted to have it, and it is. And it's a little bit heavy, but I'll be layering that up shortly. Time for me to start working on the front/side sections. I'm carefully sectioning off the front sections so that I can get my guide set and ready, so that I'll know how to cut the rest of the front or the side sections in the haircut. The rest of the hair above those section guides, I'm just going to pin up to keep it out of the way. What I'm doing here is I'm bringing some of the back section to come up to the front so that I can cut the front section so that it is shorter in the front and it blends into the back part. So what this is actually going to do is it's going to help bring in that U shape that I want. And I'm just showing you how I'm going to cut, or where I'm going to cut, so that it blends in with the back. Do you see how that falls? That is what I was looking for. So I'm just going to work my way up that side section, pulling it in front of me, not only because it helps to see, but actually I'm pulling it in front of me because I want to get that like tapered kind of appearance from the front all the way down to match to the back side. You'll notice I continue to over direct the front sections as it goes up higher because I like it to be shorter as it goes higher. If not, I end up with this weird weight line and my rolls or whatever I do to the front just doesn't look right when I style them. If you notice right here, that's what I'm talking about. It's slightly longer towards the top and I just don't like that, so that's why I decided to cut it down just a little bit more. Now I'm going to do the right side, so I bring in small sections on each side evenly, and using the left side as my guide that's already been cut, I'm going to cut the right side guide so that I can cut that to be equal to the left side that I already cut. just like I did with the left side, I'm going to take section by section from the front to over direct it in front of me and match it up with what's in the back. As I cut, I always check to make sure it's even, and you won't see me doing this throughout the whole video, but I actually did it. I just edited those parts out just for time. And as far as I can tell, I did a pretty even cut. So the sides and the back are pretty much done. I'm going to layer it up in a bit, but first I have to section my front bang area. I do have long bangs. I like to roll and style, and they're really long right now, as you can see, so I need to cut them, but that will be the last thing that I do. Once I have my bang section parted, I'll go ahead and clip that aside so that I can start on the back layers. For the back layers, I take a section like on the top of my head, and I am going to use this as my top guide. Right here, I'm just gauging where that top layer is going to hit on my head, and that is going to be my guide. So I did pull it up, and I kind of have to like lower it down a little bit because I have T-Rex arms. Well, I have normal size arms, but cutting the hair on the very top of your head when it's long is not the easiest to do. So you see I take off about 2.5, maybe 3 inches off that top, and that is where my guide is, and that's where my layers are going to hit. I carefully work section by section on the hair as I cut coming forward, but what I do is I have to pull it kind of in front of me so I can see it, but I'm not messing with the angle of the cut, if that makes sense. I'm still technically working on the back of my head, but I have to put the sides up so that the hair on my sides doesn't mix in with the hair in the back of my head. I'm almost done with the rear right side of the layers, and I'm just finishing up, just getting that guide, both the guides, the top and the bottom guide, and just trimming off the hair that is in between those guides. The right side's finished, so I'm going to be doing the same thing on the left side of the rear part of my head. You'll notice I pull my hair out directly away from my scalp, but then I'll bring it forward to cut it, and that's because I need to see where I'm cutting. So it's just easier for me to see it and to look at it as I'm cutting it right in front of me, as opposed to when it's spread out away from my head, especially behind my head. Now it's time to move on to the side layers. I found the guide, and you'll see me cutting the layers. It is, again, about 2.5, maybe 3 inches off of that side that was weighing my hair down. I'm just going to continue on this one side, just matching up the guides and trimming off the layers as I go. Now that the layers are pretty much trimmed, I decided that I wanted to take the front a little bit shorter, like the top part of that side front section, because it just was just heavy right there. And once I did that, I just have to match up the layers and trim anything else that needs to be trimmed. With the right side finished, I take a small section from each side so that I can cut an even guide on my left side, so I can easily work on my left side of my hair now. Again, I bring the left side and over direct it to the front of my face, basically, so that I can continue to cut along the guide and even up that hair. Always, always, always check for evenness. So I'm not only checking for evenness, making sure my guide for my left side is matching with my right side so that I can continue layering the left side. Everything was pretty much cut. There's just some fine tuning I needed to get through, so you'll see me do that here. I actually do it more, I just edit it out. Again, checking the cut, checking the very top, and had just a little teeny tiny bit that I wanted to take off. Other than that, I think it was good. Again, I just wanted to check to make sure it was even. Looking at the back, making sure I like the layers, that I didn't have a big weight line back there, and everything was good. Time to finish up with cutting the bangs. As with all things, I start with a guideline on the bottom and then I pin the top section up and away so I can trim my bangs. And yes, that is my German Shepherd dog in the back. You can say hello, she's a sweet girl. Now that the guide is cut, I just go around and trim off the parts that I need to cut off so that I have my layered bangs. And there you go, fresh haircut at home. Now, what good is a haircut without a style? I'm going to style my hair in victory rolls with fluffy curls in the back. Once the rollers are removed, carefully comb out the back and the sides with the wide tooth comb. You want to be careful not to remove the curls, but just to comb them so that they're a little separated. For this first side roll, you're going to part your hair from the top of your head pretty much to right behind your ear, and you are going to tease that section. Once it's teased, you're going to carefully apply pomade and a little bit of hairspray or spritz, brush it up and out, and then you're going to do the rolling. You'll notice when I'm working with a roll, like a victory roll, I'll pull the hair up and out in the direction that I want my hair to be sitting on my head at. Then I take the end of my hair and I carefully make it in a loop, and I use my thumb and my fingers to carefully roll the hair backwards and pin it onto my scalp. You will want to pin on both the top section of the roll and in the bottom section of the roll. So I usually put a pin to anchor it first, and then I'll go in and do a cross pin on both the top and bottom so that my victory roll holds better. Once the section's been rolled, I will spritz my hair and brush it up into place so that hopefully I don't have any flyaways. I end up having flyaways anyway, but whatever. After I finished my left side, I did the right side of my hair, rolled it, and here I am pinning it. Now that the sides are done, I'm going to remove the rollers from my bang area, and just like the side rolls, I'm going to tease the hair section. That section is actually going to be rolled up and back, and I'm going to pin it in a way so that it kind of blends in with the left victory roll. This is my usual everyday go-to style. I just like the way it gives height to my head because I have such a round face, and I just like the look of kind of like the continuous roll where I just have the bang section blended into the left roll section. For added stability, I pin, usually 2 pins, sometimes 3. And then of course, you gotta spritz it and brush away the flyaways. For the back fluffy part, I add just a teeny tiny bit of coconut hair shine oil, just so that it gets away the frizzies and kind of relaxes the curls. Hairstyle's all done. Do you like it?
So this is the result of my haircut. Love it. It's the perfect length. It curls easily, and I just love the way it moves. I was able to get that U shape that I love, and it's technically called the midi plus because it's a little bit longer, and I cut my layers longer than how it was traditionally cut. The layers in the original or the traditional cut were pretty short, so I like longer layers. Also, I noticed that if I cut my layers too short, even if I take off the weight line, it's just too short for me. So I cut my hair the way I like to cut my hair. I hope you enjoyed watching my haircutting video. I hope it wasn't boring. And if you cut your hair at home, let me know. Let me know if you cut your hair at home, or if you have somebody else cut your hair who's not a licensed professional. Again, I'm a licensed professional. I said in the beginning of all my videos. So I'm used to cutting hair. So far, so good. When I was rolling my hair when I was setting my hair in rollers, I actually didn't find any weird, random long hairs or sections. So I think I did a pretty good job on my hair. But again, I don't care. It's my hair. So if I mess up, I messed up. I'll just change it. I'll restyle it. I don't know. Put a flower. Flower covers all hair sins. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and you have a blessed day. Bye.